Drought is on the verge of becoming the next pandemic and there is no vaccine to cure it. Those are the words from the United Nations. An appeal from Mami Mizuturi, the UN Secretary General Special Representative for Disaster Risk Reduction, came as the UN agency warned that drought affects more people than any other slow onset disaster. Take a look.
Within the next 80 years, 129 countries will experience increased exposure to drought due to climate change alone. An additional 23 countries due to population growth, and another 38 due to the interaction of population growth and climate change impact. If you just look at these numbers, yes, there's a really big number of countries that will be exposed to increased drought. So this is a global issue, something like we're seeing as a pandemic. Drought can be the next catastrophe, and there is no vaccine. If we do not act now, our exposure to drought risk threatens to derail our progress towards the achievement of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
We are seeing in places such as, and these cases are within the report, such as the Danube Basin, droughts, an increasing number of them affecting irrigation, hydropower generation, and most critically, transportation. And we saw that on the Rhine as well itself. The modernized view of drought is that it is not simply agricultural. That in fact, the dimensions that we're seeing, and especially in so-called developed regions, are certainly the impact on the ability to export crops and services, but also the direct impacts on the functioning and the supply chains on which all societies rely.
Prevention has far lower cost in humanitarian, financial, and environmental ways than reaction and response. Drought resilience partnerships at the national and local levels will be critical to managing drought in a warming world where rainfall will become ever more unpredictable.
Global warming has now intensified droughts in southern Europe and Western Africa, the UN report said with some confidence, and the number of victims is set to grow dramatically unless the world acts. About 130 countries could face a greater risk of drought this century under a high emission scenario cited by the UN. It also said another 23 countries will confront water shortages because of population growth, with 38 nations affected by both. Drought, like a virus, tends to last a long time, have a wide geographic reach, and cause knock-on damage.